Hello everyone, this is Anthony, Wall Street Trader's son. And before we get into this video, let's go through the disclaimer real quick. This is not financial advice. The opinion you should follow should be your own and or with a financial advisor. This video is for educational purposes and to outline my own personal opinions as well. Intraday Updates on twitter.com, the link's in the description. To stay up to date with my latest videos, click on that subscribe button. And now into the stock markets with my dad.
Good morning, everyone. This is Anthony, Wall Street Trader. It's 11:55 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday, June 29, 2021. Okay, so let's just take a look at the fact that I'm in at $5.04. I'm 100% in terms of my maximum exposure to RLC that I would like to invest into it. And we're going to go take a look at some of the price action right now. Ahead of that, we're just going to make sure everyone understands that I look at the inner strength, which is RLC to Bitcoin, as well as the benchmark, which is Bitcoin in my local currency. And those two multiplied together are equal to the left side of the equal sign, which is iExec to my local currency, or RLC USD. Let's move into the markets, and we are definitely making a fairly decent comeback here. We're at 311 on the RLC US dollar pair. We're going to flip over to RLC BTC, but I drew this line here, making sure that we don't want to break this line. We want to stay within this line and through this yellow line, because that yellow line lines up with our end of year projection. So that's where we want to get to. A couple of reasons why I think we'll get there will be because of the underlying pairs that we look at, which is the inner strength of RLC. This thing's making a fairly decent parabolic move up. We can't say it's fully parabolic, but I have a feeling very soon we should see this reversal continue, this reversing trend continue over the next few days. Taking a look at the Bitcoin pair, which clearly has dominated the move for the underlying for the RLC US dollar pair rather. Bitcoin really was responsible for most of that move, as you can see over here, 5% on Bitcoin, contributing to RLC US dollar, whereas only 2% from RLC Bitcoin. But I still maintain we've been kind of through a fairly even period of consolidation over since the 22nd of June. Not to say that we can't go down again, but it looks like we're coiling up to some degree. Looking at Bitcoin, as I've mentioned on several videos, we have this broadening wedge, which is in gray. And I will just zoom in a little more so we can see that. It's a broadening wedge because the distance between these two gray lines broadens. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger. The space between broadens out. Given that it started back here, typical pattern research has shown, generally speaking, that these broadening wedges do make their way back to the upside. If it's a downward broadening wedge, wherever it started, it should reverse back to the point at which that pattern started. And it should take about the same amount of time as when it broke that pattern. So we're about 8 days in. We have a few more days. Let's see, a couple more days to see if this is a valid pattern. And we'll take a look at that over the coming days. Anyway, taking a look at Bitcoin more broadly speaking. By the way, Bitcoin's at 36,213. And we're not too far away from this green line. Green line is my trend towards my end of year $80,000 Bitcoin target. So looking like it's trying to get back up into that range. By the way, Kathy Wood, her ARK investment company, is trying to create an ETF under the symbol ARKB, working with the SEC. Apparently SEC, decision to approve the first Bitcoin ETF last week was postponed. So we have to see how this thing goes. I think the pressure is on the SEC to get this thing going. The public wants it. The SEC is going to have to make their mind up one way or the other and come up with an answer instead of kicking this can down the street. In the meantime, Kathy Wood is trying to do other things to get exposure to Bitcoin instead of through an ETF, by working through other proxies, as they call them, or alternative ways to have that risk exposure to Bitcoin. Things like Coinbase and Grayscale Bitcoin Trust are two ways to get that exposure. It's not direct exposure though. The Grayscale Bitcoin Trust is kind of a trust, but it can trade at discounts and premiums that are a larger magnitude than ETFs. So, and Coinbase, as we all know, is an exchange application that we use. It's actually an exchange as well, and you can buy and trade cryptocurrencies through it. So that's what she's been investing in, is Coinbase, Grayscale, things like that. So we want to see, I'd like to see this turn around. The pressure's on the SEC. I think they need to really come out and approve one or two of these things. Anyway, that's all I've got now. Have a good Tuesday, everyone. Bye.